YouTube and welcome to my channel, Annabella, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 3 film and TV show versions of Watership Down. This is going to be a compare and contrast video. So, let's get cracking. Okay, Watership Down, the book, was published in 1972 as a rabbit survival adventure novel. Richard Harris, the author, described it as a adult novel for children, and there is the original cover of the book, and it was written and dedicated to Juliet and Rosamond, his 2 daughters. He started Watership Down as a travel story for them as they were on the road to Stratford-on-Avon. There are 3 versions of Watership Down. In the top corner we have the 1970 film. Then we have the ITV show down at the bottom there, which was considered more child-friendly but actually was able to expand on some of Richard Harris's ideas in a more abstract way. The film at the top is very famous for its naturalistic animation and its beautiful watercolour backgrounds. Both those 2 used the song Bright Eyes as its theme. The top one, in the top corner, which was CGI animation and was done by the BBC and was a 4-episode TV show. So here we have the original Watership Down movie Fiver here was done in 1978. At the top we have Fiver again from the Watership Down that was 1999 to 2001, and then we have Fiver again down here in the 2018 Watership Down. So they are all 3 different representations of Fiver. To be absolutely honest, I think the film version has captured him the best. The 1918 version, unfortunately, I found all the bunny rabbits similar looking. What I really liked about the ITV one was each rabbit was given a distinctive look, so you could tell who they were on screen. And actually, Fiver's visions, I think, were really well done in the 1918 version here, how you saw him as a rabbit travel through his vision, through his mind, whereas in the ITV version he sort of went into a trance and flomped on the floor when he was having them, so you didn't get to experience the vision in his head. The actual film version was a combination of the 2 versions, and he would sort of rock and do a strange trance as well. Okay, this is the movie. So here we have Bigwig in the shining wire, the snare, the beautiful pylons, General Woundwort, the rabbits looking down from the down. That is such a beautiful image. And then the rabbits on top of the down. Now, as you can see here, this is the film, and you can name each individual rabbit quite easily. So we have little Pipkin here. Then we have Captain Holly, who's next to Bigwig. That one, oh, that's Silver, whatever his name is. I always forget that one, which is terrible because he's actually, yes, he doesn't participate in the action, but he's actually always there. We've got Bigwig, then we've got Hazel, then we've got Blackberry, and then, hang on, no, that's Dandelion. Yep, Bigwig, Dandelion, Blackberry, Hazel and Fiver. As you can somewhat see, yeah, identification of rabbits is awkward. But I like the fact that Blackberry's got black ears, hence the name. And Bigwig's always got that extra hair. Pipkin's a little bit fat. So here we have the exact same sort of similar scenes in the ITV version. So you've got General Woundwort there. I couldn't get him in his attack pose at all. So they did 2 designs for him in the ITV series. We've got there and there. You've also got Bigwig in the shining wire in the snare there. Then you've got Bigwig, Hazel, Fiver, Dandelion Or is that Blackberry? But in this version, they changed him to a her, which was really annoying because after Violet gets taken, they're supposed to be all bucks, and hence why they need to go and get some does. And there's a little fat pick in there. And then you've got the remaining rabbits on the hill with the watercolour background there. Also, these ones are Australian. Yes, in the 3rd season, ITV kind of really went off piece, but there are similarities there. And then if I press the button again, you can see the film and the actual, not the film, the BBC version. Their version didn't actually, as you can see, you've got General Woundwort attacking there with his paws up. You've got the rabbits' backs on the down, rabbits' fronts on the down. I don't know why they've included a rock. And then you've got Bigwig and the Shining Wire. Very, very similar things. So here we have the design. Now, one of the problems with Watership Down is sometimes people struggle to tell which rabbit is which. So here we have Hazel in the film. ITV version, 2 designs. As you can see, they really thought about his character and made him a little... Everyone in the ITV version has got a really distinct rabbit character because it was aimed at children, but actually it makes it really easy to follow. Then you've got Hazel here, very nondescript in the BBC one, unfortunately. Bigwig, he's always a character that's easy to identify. See, in the film, he's got that mop of hair on him. In this one, he's got it sort of round his neck as well as on his head. That's the ITV one, 2 designs because they changed the designs midway through. And then again, that's the BBC one. Yes, he's got hair on the top of his head, but once again, it is dark. And unfortunately, one of the criticisms of the new BBC TV version was you couldn't actually tell what was the earth and what was rabbit because of the contrast between the colours. Whereas in the animation ones, you can clearly see. So here we have Fiver up at the top there. So Fiver is there, and there he's in his trance there. And then down at the bottom, we have got Hazel and Fiver and Hazel. Very similar looking at that point. But yeah, this highlights again the issue. They did make Fiver is described as small, so he is small. And at the top we have got Pipkin. So this is Pipkin from the movie and the ITV version there, slightly different. But again, if you see all the rabbits down here from the BBC TV version for episode 1 from 2018, they all look similar. The only one that really is standing out is Bigwig. And with some of the girls, they did do them sort of two-tone, but that still didn't help because characters tended to blend into each other. It's unfortunate, but that is a criticism, and I do think it sticks because it does make it very difficult. You have to know the story beforehand to understand what's actually happening, whereas with the ITV version and the film, you don't because they've given each character design a unique colouring and features. Here we have Clover. Now, in the film version, Clover stays a hutch rabbit. She doesn't get out. In the ITV one, she does. And also in the BBC one, she does. So there she is. And then we have a character that I actually really find kind of annoying. Very similar to the Guardian in the Tribe and also Lockhart, Professor Lockhart in the Harry Potter series, Cowslip. Where are you going, stream? Take me far, far away. Yes. In the ITV one, he is actually much more... They make him into a really kind of creepy villain, and at one point he does team up with Woundwort. It's quite interesting where they go with him in the ITV one. The film one, there he is, all floppy and sort of floppy and loose and very well fed. As you can see, yeah, the BBC one showing the contrast issues. See, look, you've got the two-tone colour of Clover there and her lovely blue eyes. He does have a little beard, which I kind of like in this one. It kind of hints to this one because you see it's sort of a tufted rabbit. Where are you going, stream? Take me far, far away. Give me my life, my breath. Yes, yes, give in to death. No, I don't think we will. Thank you. Okay, Captain Holly. Now, what they've done with Captain Holly is quite interesting. So this is Captain Holly at the start of the movie there. Then you've got him as he was after Ephrata. So that's those 2 pictures of the film. Then you've got the ITV one where he's got as you can see, very, very clear character design. Grey, muzzled, old. And In the BBC one, they made him into a hero who actually dies and ends up with Heisenflate. Spoiler warning. In the actual film and the book, Heisenflate ends up with Hazel, not Bigwig. Huge misconception there. And in the ITV series, she ends up with Hazel as well. But in this BBC version, she ends up with Holly. Holly unfortunately dies, which is an interesting concept. So here we have one of my favourite characters, Kiar. He's actually Russian, and in the film version from the 1970s, he gets away with saying piss off. It used to be a U, it's now is a PG, I suspect because of that. You stupid bunnies, you have no plan. So there he is. In the ITV version, he's filmed by the late and great Rick Mayall. And for some reason, Don't Ask, the ITV version gives him a female companion, and also there's a little mouse, Hannah. They sort of add, there's Hannah the mouse and Kiar's wife, who comes to pay them a visit, which is quite nice. And then in the BBC version, he's voiced by Peter Capaldi from Doctor Who fame, and there he is. So Kiar is an essential character. He should be the only other animal that's got a big part. It is mostly bunnies and a seagull in Watership Down. Sorry, Hannah the mouse, you are not relevant. Okay, now here we have a character that I absolutely adore. This is Blackabar. He is, so this is him alive, this is him dead. Yeah, it's really difficult to see, I do appreciate that. In the film, he basically keeps trying to escape from El-ahrairah. They put him on, he's got to present himself at each mark. As you can see, he's got really, really thin ribs. His ears have been completely shredded. It's lucky that he survived the council. He then goes on to join Hazel's Warren, and in the final battle, he defies Hazel again by digging under and surprising Woundwort and buying everybody some time by his death. In the BBC version, Blackabar doesn't die, he gets to live, and it's Hazel that dies. Sorry for the spoilers there. This is Blackabar in the ITV version. In the ITV version, I believe Blackabar does actually die. There he is in the BBC one. You can't really see him very clearly at all. And there he is in the ITV version. And there he is just about to attack Woundwort and bite the bullet. Right, the dog. Here we have the Rottweiler. So this is from the BBC version, the newer version, ITV version, who is actually voiced by the same actor as the 1970 film version. As you can see here, they went with the complete menacing dog. He's one of the few characters that has had minimal changes. Down here, we have a character called Strawberry. Strawberry in the book is male. He actually comes from Cowslip's Warren. So he's a bit sort of fat and plump and a bit sort of, oh, I can't work very much type character. In the ITV version, I think they keep him male. In the BBC version, I don't think he's included at all, though they might have, not quite sure, they might have included him and changed him to a her, because I know that they did a lot of female to male gender changes in the 2018 version. Depends whether I can remember or not. It's been a while. Right, here's my favourite character at the top. General Woundwort from the film is absolutely terrifying and menacing. His violence and terror is just brutal. Then we've got the ITV version, and they actually do a great job of turning him from the straight-up villain that Richard Harris created, because one of his biggest regrets was he felt that Woundwort was too villainous as a moustache-twirling villain. He actually wanted him more of an anti-hero, and the ITV one, I feel, honours that greatly. The BBC version is quite interesting because you have that whole business with Clover, because Clover being the hutch rabbit that's saved, and he gives her the offer of being his queen at the first meeting. He then gives her time to think, and when she comes to him again, unfortunately, based on his characteristics, he would have raped her, because that was quite common in El-ahrairah. It's you have the scene in the 1970s film where it's like, if you want to do, you will have your choice here, and they have to obey. So that, I understand why the BBC have done that, but it makes General Woundwort's character look like a plonking idiot when he says, I don't make deals. But it does give you solid sort of thing that he is evil, which is not what Richard Harris wanted. And to be absolutely honest, in the ITV version, Pipkin and General Woundwort actually form a friendship, which is quite interesting in itself and balances his character out. I do prefer the 1970 film and the ITV version for that, though I do appreciate what the BBC tried to do with their memories of General Woundwort as him as a young bunny getting attacked by the fox. I thought that was good, but I felt that they were trying to force something. It wasn't as straightforward. Now here we have the Black Rabbit in the film, the Black Rabbit in ITV, and the Black Rabbit in the BBC version. In this one, she's female. In the other two, male. But there's a big thing that the Black Rabbit is actually El-ahrairah. El-ahrairah. Yeah, welcome to Rabbit Speak. But it's quite important. Why have I put the Black Rabbit, who may or may not be El-ahrairah, with General Woundwort? Well, General Woundwort in the afterlife becomes cousin to the Black Rabbit, and he is seen to terrify and kill the Il-ahrairah. Il-ahrairah are things like anything that can harm a rabbit. So it's like roodle-doodles, which are cars. Yeah, there's rabbit language in the books. It's called Lapan. Weasels, foxes, dogs, anything that can go for a rabbit. General Woundwort is considered somewhat of a deity, which just shows you how fearsome he was. He's considered the killer of Il-ahrairah. Here we have one of the best things I really like about the film is this bit. Look, there's the rabbit hugging its non-violent friends. All these creatures here will become animals. That's a weasel, that's a cat, dog. We've got an owl there. We've got something else. We've got something fox, I think, there. Based on the rabbit. This is the story of El-ahrairah. The rabbit sort of trickster slash saviour, which is really important. I liked the version the BBC did with the puppets. I thought that was really, really, really good. I really enjoyed that. I like the film version of this, and they even did a version of this in the ITV version. This is, to understand the whole story, you have to understand the legend of El-ahrairah. Otherwise, it's not going to make any sense at all. Rabbits on the Moon. So here we have the BBC version, newer version there, the ITV version and the BBC version there. There is a scene like this from the movie, but it happened so quickly and it's happening during daylight that I actually haven't got a photo of that. Can't get one. This is really important. In the BBC one, I think it's really important that they actually have a memorial bench to Richard Adams, because unfortunately he died whilst this was being made. But again, it does highlight the fact that the rabbits look the same colour as the bench. That was one of the problems. And also the jerky motion of the rabbits movement was an issue. But I actually think that is quite crucial, because it shows, yes, Hazel's leg has healed, but it has left him wounded and damaged. And it also is a metaphor for how fragile the warren that Hazel has created is, and that's quite useful. But because they used CGI, it made it look so odd, and people couldn't understand why Hazel's leg wasn't working properly, whereas all the other rabbits were able to move quite easily. Hazel's was damaged, and it actually confused quite a lot of people, that. But I think the idea was pretty cool. And that's basically the end of this presentation. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really, really do suggest you check out Watership Down, the book. There is also Tales from Watership Down, which was written in the 90s by Richard Adams, that does have more female rabbits in and gives them more adventures. But actually Watership Down as a tale I prefer, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Because one of the reasons they have to go to Ephrata is to get some does so that they can breed. And they're just lucky that Ephrata is so awful that loads of people want to come with them. Bucks and does alike. Do check it out. Do read the book. The book is brilliant, because what I really like about the book is that every chapter they have a quote from another work of literature. And in the first chapter, it's why do you cry out thus? What horrors have you seen? Which is all building up to the vision of Fiver. We've got to leave the war on the field is covered with blood. I really enjoy Watership Down. It's one of my favourite things. I watched the first film, this film, as a child, age 5. I never had any problems with the violence within it because it made sense within that world. It's a violent world. Rabbits can go on the road and get smushed. And I think that that's an important lesson for children to actually learn. In my head, I'd show them the original, not a problem. Because you've got concepts of life, you've got concepts of death, you've got concepts of an afterlife. It's actually pretty beautiful, but it's also it's brutally beautiful, to be absolutely honest. I really like that. If you've got sensitive children, I would show them the ITV version of it because it's still equally as good, but it's more child friendly if you know you've got a sensitive under 8. This one is clearly aimed at adults, and I wouldn't show to any kind of child at all because it just is awkward. But yes, I've really enjoyed the film. I really love the film. I think the film is absolute perfection. It's interesting to note that the new BBC version didn't use the song Bright Eyes. Song Bright Eyes is about a toxomatosis, which is a disease that rabbits were deliberately given to reduce their spread. And it's also about understanding and coping with death, which is what Watership Down is all about. It's understanding that everything dies and why do people die. And it's a great introduction to these concepts, hence why it is an adult novel for children. I would also recommend The Animals of Farthing Wood as well, because it deals with similar concepts, but you've got a wider variety of animals. It's not just bunnies and a seagull. Though, if you watch the ITV version, you do get a mouse and you get some more gulls. So please like, comment and subscribe. Do check out the original book. Read it. It is absolutely awesome. It's my favourite book ever. Check out the film and don't be put off by people saying, oh, it's too violent. Well, maybe you shouldn't put it on at Easter. But actually, I like putting it on at Easter because it's got a good Easter message. Things die and new things take their place. How appropriate is that? Very Eastery, to be absolutely honest. So, yes, it is good. And if children are upset by the level of violence and blood in it, well, I think that just shows you how far the modern world has been divorced from nature. I mean, if you're a bird, you're going to kill the snail. The snail is not going to have an easy time whilst it's being eaten alive. Neither is the mouse that's eaten by the cat. Neither is the rabbit that is eaten by the cat that is run over. It's got some really good life lessons, and it sets up a good understanding to children how the natural world works, and I think that's really important. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'm just going to find this page because that's what I want to leave it on. Do check out all 3. They are well worth a watch, because initially I was sort of like, oh, the ITV one's too kiddie, but once I got into it, I was like, actually, this has got some really good concepts in, and I really enjoyed it. So please like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for your support, and bye.